Good evening, everybody. Welcome back to 22 Panels and the Joy, Resistance, Hope, and Survival Book Club and Support Group. Our biggest mouthful, but I like the mouthful, so we keep using it. Um, yeah, uh, we've got Dr. Ramos and Samantha Chavez Ramos and Lee Woods, and joining us now is that if I butcher this, Mig, you're gonna have to like correct me and slap me upside the head, Mig Monagus. And what's your title? Are we a doctor, or are you part of the doctor crew, or part of
Just
the
a just a master's level clinician.
just a master's level
Yeah.
clinician? Yeah, but still, everybody but me is at an advanced degree in psychology. Um, and I just have 40 years in therapy. Um,
That's not nothing.
I know it's not nothing. So, Sam, since you picked out this week's book, I'm going to let you lead it off and introduce it.
Yeah, so this week I made the
I guess
recommendation.
it's month.
Oh
Month.
yeah,
We don't do it weekly yet. My
Uh,
fault.
nah, I don't know if we can keep up for weekly, but for this month, I made the recommendation of Do a Powerbomb by Daniel Warren Johnson. Um, and it was the first book that I read by Daniel Warren Johnson, and it was just such a heart-ripping kind of phenomenal story, and reading like the prelude of the book, like where he's saying, he was watching Japanese wrestling, in the early morning time when he was taking care of his newborn daughter, and this story just kind of came to him, and he loved the intricacy of like the Japanese wrestling and how flashy it was and how intricate it was, and it was like, this dance between the two people, and this story just kind of coming to him. Um, it really got me like as a mother, and it got me as, just a person. Um, but the story in of itself, the way that Lana goes through her journey, like in her redemption and in her grief and in her, how is she going to like go through this, and the people around her that support her, but also, don't want her to go through this, championship in which I don't, do I want to give spoilers? Are we giving spoilers? This we can give,
It's old enough that
right. I
like
mean,
anybody who doesn't want to be spoiled, five, four, three, two, one, pause the episode, go buy the book, read it, and come back. Okay.
so it starts off with two very famous wrestlers. The first is, I think it's Yua
Sounds right.
is her mother, Yua Steel Rose, and she's fighting against Cobra Sun. And
Cobra Sun, yeah.
they're
Yo, Joe. Sorry.
they're fighting in this wrestling match, and Cobra accidentally kills Yua. And those are like the first like 3 or 4 pages. Like, Lana's watching from the sidelines. This is not something that was planned whatsoever, but an accident happens, and Yua ends up dying with, next to her uncle, with Lana watching from the sidelines. And so the story goes, as Lana grows older, like, her uncle's trying to get her to not go into wrestling, but she really wants to go into wrestling. And she gets, what was it, the necromancer comes up to her and is like, hey, like, if you go through my championship, like, you get to bring one person back to life. And she's like, of course, like, I want to do it because I want to bring my mom back. And she goes to Cobra Sun, and she's like, you're the only one who can do this journey with me. Like, nobody else wants to do it. It has to be you. So they go through this journey, and through the journey and fighting other wrestlers, you find out that Cobra Sun is actually Lana's father. So he's been wrestling under disguise as Cobra Sun. And Lana has this like really gut-wrenching, you know, fight within herself that her father accidentally murdered her mother. Um, and they were both doing the thing that they both loved. Like, so it was like their
A-
play.
and didn't tell her for,
Oh, and didn't tell her.
15 years.
Yeah, she had no clue. She had no clue that was her father. She had no clue, this was his like secret wrestler name. Like he just he didn't want to tell her. Which is like understanding, like how can you tell somebody that I've accidentally murdered your mother? Like we're both grieving.
I don't know if you could say accidentally murder as opposed to
Well,
accidentally kill.
accidentally killed,
It's-
I
sorry.
say I was trying to be polite and not be
Nope.
the one to say that.
I
Murder.
can say that, I'm like, I don't think there's an accidental murder.
He accidentally killed her. And they're both grieving and
Accidentally caused her passing.
yeah, yes, that's the ticket. That's the one.
He unalived her.
He unalived her.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
they're
Monetized, right? Yeah.
And not in the good zombie way.
no, no. There is a necromancer, but not in a zombie way.
Right, right.
Um, it's a story about grief. It's a story about, trying to come together and be together, but also having that pain towards each other. And, at the end, they do form that bond, because they both realize that, if they had to fight against one another at the end game, they're both going to want to bring back, Yua. Um, so it's a hard ticket, but it was.
Well, I don't know. I kind of wanted to. I'm just gonna say it. I wanted to bitch slap God at the end. I did. I did. When he's like, no, no, not giving you your mom. Let me give you this memory instead. It'll make it all better. And don't get me wrong, good memory, powerful memory. I think in her shoes, I still would have preferred mom.
Yeah, yeah.
See, I don't see it, and so I have to preface all this. So I read this a little bit after my dad passed away. So
Right.
it was it was like, damn it, and the first few pages, it's like she's fucking dead, like
Right.
so it was a hard hit early on. And again, I preface that I was already going through or experiencing loss in my life. So, and not that it's my first loss. So something I'm very familiar with is grief. And it's funny because just in response to that, like I thought the memory was eloquently done. Now
Absolutely.
it's gonna be a long-winded answer. So I'm
She
a
could have had both, is what I'm saying.
no, no, I get it. But to make that shorter, but would we have appreciated? Would we appreciate life if we could live forever? And I'm thinking Queen, and I'm
I'm
thinking
not talking. Yeah, I'm not talking forever. I'm talking not losing mom at 6 and never having her again.
and
Mom can still die of natural causes.
but she's dead, and that's where it's like, all
I know.
right,
I know.
I think the memory was really good for her because it helped give ultimately what we all wanted in our lives is closure. And it's funny because I did parallel a lot with thinking of Highlander. I don't know if you guys ever watched Highlander.
Long, long time ago.
So, and the theme song, Who Wants to Live Forever, Queen, whatever. And,
Nobody.
this is a guy who's 500 years old and, he's going through lives and, at the end, their own struggle is that there can only be one. And it's like, what, there can only be one Highlander? No, there can only be one child born, blah, blah, blah. Whatever the case is, it really kind of resonated in the sense of like, death comes for all. It doesn't discriminate. And it brings some satisfaction to me knowing that that's one of the few things in this world that doesn't discriminate. It's young, old, ethnic, gender, and it doesn't matter. We will all have it, and it's funny because I just started all these comics that I've read kind of parallel there. It's just like, what's Death's famous quote is that you get what everybody gets. You get a lifetime, you know, and it just kind of all started sinking in. It's like it's a story of grief and how we process grief and how we deal with loss. If you're looking at Cobra-san, you're looking at his redemption model, like how he essentially redeems himself. But it's all about loss and the metaphorical things that were intertwined in the idea of loss that was there. And Daniel, I think he did an interesting thing because it's something that's new to me is tying wrestling as the metaphor for life and death. Like I thought that was really the genius part. I'm like, oh, okay. And not just wrestling, but Japanese wrestling, which is different, already in a sense. And Mexican has like Mexico wrestling, so it's very different, lucha libre. So it's already different in that regard. But I'm like, oh, this is pretty cool. Like, all right, the art was kind of in your face, but the idea of grief, I think, was profound. He doesn't, take a short stance. He hits you right off the bat like this is about loss. Because that first few pages, boom, it's done. And then it's about grief because why dad and daughter. And so he hits you hard right from the beginning, like just a hard hitter. And I think it's that slow burn, that slow journey that it's showing you is how we handle that loss, how we handle that grief, and how it weighs on us and it drives us, it motivates us if we shape it to a positive, but it can also kill us. It can also destroy us. It destroyed this guy's career. Like, he loved that. He loved his wife, but he loved doing that, and it destroyed that. So it's just that idea of how grief can do good and bad in a human's life. I think was pretty well done for I think thinking about Daniel.
I don't
Thanks.
disagree. You just have to ruin my joke.
Oh, did I just? Sorry. I still want to hear it. Go for it.
No. I started with the bitch
Yeah,
slap
it's pretty well.
God, and you wouldn't even allow it to like sit and be funny for a minute. You had to like, no, no, no. She had to stay dead, and this is why, and be fucking right.
Well, I mean, I get it. I mean, don't get me wrong. It also was like they made God seem kind of like, he was getting his ass kicked in the beginning. I'm like, what? He should just snap his finger and it's done. Um,
Well, but that wouldn't be very sporting.
yeah, so it was cool. And it's funny because I'm reading, and I can't think of the name of it right now, but his run on Beta Ray Bill. Uh,
Okay,
my
his
God,
miniseries.
I can't remember the name of the story right now. It escapes me, but you're familiar with the Beta Ray Bill. That was the first thing that I recognized that I read that was Daniel Warren Johnson, and that opened the door for it. And then Do a Powerbomb was the second book, and it was just like, man, this guy has me hooked. Like I'm gonna start reading, whatever I can get my hands on. But Do a Powerbomb is by far probably my favorite uh, writings of Daniel Warren Johnson.
We
Uh,
interrupted Meg, so we should let her jump in.
sorry.
She's new and she's all polite and doesn't know how we just
Oh,
walk
yeah.
over each other. You got to push your way in, Meg.
Okay,
It's like wrestling.
that's good. Um, and hopefully I didn't lose my idea, but it's going off what Dr. Ramos was saying about loss and grief. I feel that is also about loss because when mom died, daughter did not only lose mom, but she also lost dad.
Yeah.
And
Right in there.
it destroyed their relationship. And when he reveals who he is, that, oh, that's my dad, it almost feels like that burden of grief becomes lighter because now they get to share it. Um, so this is the second comic book that I ever read, and it really touched me. I'm actually talking about it, and I whoo, um, yeah.
What a way to get going. Uh, what was a Mega Man the first, or what was the first?
The first one was Supergirl by Tom King.
Okay, yeah,
Yeah.
okay. I
Which
mean, you
tells a
started
little
off
bit
with two great
complex.
ones, and hopefully ones that will make you go, "Oh, comics are actually pretty cool."
Yes. Yes. I had the
Not what
idea.
people told me they were.
No, I had the idea that it was just pictures and short phrases, and it's much more. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's a couple of hard hitters to start off with.
Yeah. Do a power bomb made me cry.
Somebody give her some It's Jeff, just so that she knows that comics can be fun and heartwarming, even though they've got depth.
We'll have her read Squirrel Girl.
Yeah, definitely read some Squirrel Girl.
Okay.
I was gonna give her Superman. Man, was it the one? Oh my God, Tom King's Superman.
Up in the sky, so you want to
Yeah.
just tear her heart out some more?
I mean, we're gonna just get, then we'll
I mean,
follow Mr. Miracle.
we'll be getting there, but like we need to show Mig that like every medium, there's songs that make you happy and songs that make you cry and songs that make you scream. There are poems that make you happy, poems that make you cry, poems that make you scream, prose, whatever. Comics aren't one thing. And right now I feel like we're telling your comics are that thing that just rip your heart out and stomp. You just give her Saga next.
No, I don't want
Actually
to
give her
deter.
Saga next,
I don't
but
want to deter her away from comics, so I don't want to get.
you're
I
the only person in the world that is driven away from comics by
No,
Saga.
I want feedback on this podcast about Saga. Does anybody else agree with me? They can send Tad letters, please.
Only tell me if you agree with me.
Well, no, I will put it out there. Anybody who doesn't like Saga, please write to me why. Thus far, the only people I've heard from that don't like Saga, that have read more than like an issue, either it's because it deals with something that they just don't like to deal with. My brother, when one of the hero characters succumbed and got high at a time that he should have been doing something else, that just he couldn't do it. Couldn't do it. He was so disappointed in the character that he was out. Um, I think I had another person who told me that they'd made it through volume one and like very, very good. Not their cup of tea. They want pure escapism. And I think that's actually what Dr. Ramos is saying when he says he doesn't like Saga, because it's kind of like Sheriff of Babylon, where I think the further we push him into it, the more it's like, no, don't make me deal with my own issues by reading comics. I only want to use comics to help other people deal with their issues.
100%, 100%. It's not a bad. It's not for me. Let's just say. Okay, I gave her Nail Biter to read.
Okay.
I have to agree with Dr. Ramos. It's not that I think that Saga is not it's bad or it's not good. I just think it's okay. After reading
No.
like Do a Power Bomb and Better Ray Bill and The Nice House and Something's Killing the Children, I kind of liked that slap on the face that they give you at the beginning, because it keeps me going. Like I want to read more and I want to know more. I lose track of time, and Saga doesn't make me feel that way.
Okay.
We
Okay.
talked about it yesterday during the con because I was like, what kind of comics like do you like? And we had a really good talk about like,
Wait, at what kind are we talking about?
oh, Psychocomicology's mini con. Well, a little plug right there.
You like
Did
that?
did we have numbers? How many people did you have come?
I don't think we did the
We
full
haven't done
numbers
full
yet, but
numbers.
but
Oh, okay.
it was successful enough that we got a lot of good positive feedback. We had one person say it was a little expensive, but it was really just to make sure that we can cover the vendors because the vendors were free. So
Right. Right, right.
it was successful, I think. Go ahead, sorry. So you don't like Saga either, you said?
I actually haven't read. But
Sorry. I misheard or misunderstood.
in talking like why, having somebody who's reading comics like for the first time, like what are you drawn to? Like why, as you grow up reading comics, you go from character to character and you realize like, oh, like I like this one, and then you get introduced to another one and it's like, oh, I like this one. And it's about like sometimes you don't want to have to explore a whole new world. You just want I want to know this character right here, right now, in this time and place. I don't want to have to know 50 years of backstory to be able to connect to like all these other characters. Like the world in itself like is single in that situation, in that circumstance. Like having to understand like, well, who are these characters? Like who are they referencing? How does this work? Sometimes like that escapism of just like I'm reading a comic book to just escape. I don't want to have to think about how it connects to other things and other places and other situations. Um,
Mm.
is nice.
Yeah, and it's almost like you can see each character as its own world because they have so much depth to them. Um, but also, yes, because we were talking about this when you have characters like Supergirl or Batman, there's a lot more in terms of context, and they'll introduce some other characters, and I'm like, who is that? What's going on? Who are they calling? Who's showing up? So you are right about that as a newer reader. Yes, and also there's something about the depth of the characters that I still can't figure out, and I think that's why I can't put it into words, but it's something related to each character being almost their own world in a sense.
Kind of like every human's their own world. Takes a
Mhm.
long time to understand a human being.
Mhm.
I mean, I think all of the best storytelling, character-driven storytelling art give us the fullest pictures of humans that they can. I think one of the reasons why comics are so successful at storytelling is that there's so many different ways to show the character. You can show them through their dialogue or their internal monologue. You can show them through the visuals. You can show them through motion, but you force the reader to think about them between the panels. So it's not just here's the character like you get in a movie. It's not just here's the character like you get in a book. It's because of those gutters, because of that space between the panels, you have to fill in gaps, and you're going to wind up filling in more than just the physical action gaps. You'll fill in the, okay, why did this happen? How did we get from there to here?
I think that's exactly like Scott McCloud and like Will Eisner, like when they say like,
Yep.
how do people get emotionally connected to comic books? And it's like because they do have that like subjective.
When have you read Scott McCloud? Oh my God,
I had to read him for my dissertation.
oh,
I had to do a lot of reading. I did a lot
Yeah,
of reading.
yeah. Nobody writes comics in an academic sense without reading how to read.
Scott
Scott
McCloud.
McCloud.
Understanding comics, it's like required reading.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a mandatory read.
I read all of that. I read Will
I mean, I'll
Eisner.
say that that's borderline required reading for this podcast. Anybody who's listening who hasn't read Understanding Comics should take the time. Um,
Because
you know,
they were speaking about things in a sense of like, how do I say it?
English or Spanish?
I barely speak both. Um, they were speaking about things like in a clinical sense, in a scientific sense, but it's written for like the lay person. Like you don't have to have an advanced degree to read it and understand what it is that they're saying and say like, yes, that is exactly what I'm going through. That is my exact
well,
experience.
he proves another one of the great things about comics is that um they can convey very high level information to any audience because um, what limits somebody might have to their verbal vocabulary, they can pick up from the visuals. What limits people may have to understanding the visuals, they can pick up from the words. It's the interplay because it's a very academic book that is at the same time incredibly accessible. I mean, I think I read it for the first time when I was like 14, and I was a precocious 14-year-old, but I know lots of people who read it like where they didn't understand the format. They wouldn't see writing that was really like that again until they were in college reading academic works. But because of the way he presented it, it doesn't feel
Academic. It
well,
doesn't
or at least not as daunting, not
yes,
as dauntingly academic.
it doesn't it's not it's trying to talk to you. It's not trying to
Mhm.
give you like a lecture.
Right.
So
Yeah.
it's very, the way that the panels work and the way that, it's the subjective understanding of what you get from it. And like the dual power bomb, I read it like as a mom saying like, she lost her daughter. Like they had, this beautiful relationship between a mother and a daughter. And then like, she lost her mom and it was her grief and her struggle, you know, going through like the rest of her life and trying to live up to like Yua Steel Rose. Like, how can you ever possibly do that? And you know, it was very impactful for me, like because it was my subjective understanding. Like it was what I got from the story, and it was
I,
it
I
was
I always love when
yeah.
we start talking about like what the characters we identify, because of course I identify with the dad, but I wanted it wasn't about our gender roles or about like, oh, it's because I'm a dad. It's funny because my identity, my identification with the dad was about redemption. Like
Yeah.
while I
Yeah.
was going through grief and whatnot, that wasn't even the forefront of what I was feeling. I was feeling the redemption, like I was more so feeling the like, fuck, how do and not to put all my junk out there, but just thinking of all like the things I've done, like man, to be able
No,
to,
we'll save that for when we read Saga.
yeah, like to be able to change things or make some things right, it was like it really hit me like fuck, like at the end, no, you're not gonna change it, but you can get through it and learn to live with it, like and the way he copes, like it was a little, gender, like the way a guy copes, it was very, like, oh, we retreat within ourselves, blah blah blah. And I'm like, fuck, I do that shit, and shit hits the fan, like I don't put my stuff on anybody, I just, I go inside my head and that's where I'm at. So it's so funny how we identify with a particular character that reminds us of us, even when we look to escape, no matter how bad we want to escape when we read comics, Sheriff of Babylon Saga, we still identify with characters that we don't want to identify with. It's like,
Yeah.
damn, because it reminds us. It's a reminder of some of our shit, to put it
So
simply.
Sam, what he's saying is that if he ever stops talking to you, it means he accidentally killed somebody at
Like,
work.
Dad, you killed my mother.
Well, I was wrestling with her. I am going to read Saga, the full thing. It's on my 1 day bucket list. Read Saga.
Well, maybe the way for you to do it is wait till it's done.
Yeah.
I mean, it'll be 108 issues. We're like 72 in now, so like the end is coming.
The end is
Maybe
Give it another.
maybe it's the one that you read as a full thing and don't have to go through the heartbreak that I went through, where for 3 years, 3 fucking years,
Yep.
the last Saga image in my head was the most heartbreaking image in the history of comics.
I
don't spoil it.
don't say what image that is.
I won't. I won't. What I will say though is like I remember reading the issue and I was sitting on a rocking chair at my in-laws, and so my wife was like on the couch behind me, and I finished reading the issue, and I don't know how long I sat there silently staring at the page, but it was long enough for my wife to go, "Are you okay?" And I held up, and my wife has only read the beginning of Saga and makes me t-shirts. So she knows the characters because I'm like, I want this t-shirt. And she's read, I think, 2 volumes and she likes it. She gets why I like it, but she's kind of like, well, no, she's even further than Dr. Ramos. She's like, give me funny stuff. I want true crime or funny stuff, not this stuff where I have to deal with real emotions. I want serial killers and none of those fake serial killers. Give me real serial killers or give me funny stuff. That's my wife. um,
What's that one that I read with the serial killers on the street?
Where monsters,
Oh, where monsters
where
lie?
monsters lie?
Is that what it is?
Yeah, I think
maybe.
yeah, where
Where
monsters
monsters
lie.
lie?
Yeah,
It's about serial killers
Mm.
who live in, like a subdivision.
yeah, suburban sub.
Oh, yeah, yeah. She liked that one, the Kyle
Oh, that's
Starks
so
one.
good.
Oh, yeah. That wasn't real serial killers, but it,
That's
it had enough of the funny that she was all over it.
Yeah, yeah.
So I guess she'll also take funny serial killers. She would take YA feel good, real life serial killers, and properly crafted humorous serial killers.
So she loves vinyl, I'm assuming.
I don't think I've gotten her to read those yet, but I think she's interested.
Yeah.
Um, but I just held up that page and she immediately went, "Oh dear." And like she was suddenly behind me giving me a hug. And I'd read the letters page and I'd gone back to that image and I'm like, they're not coming back for at least a year. I don't know what comes next. And then it was 3.5 years. 3.5 years. my theory is still like and I like this single biggest reason. I mean, I want to talk to Fiona Staples about so much, but the single biggest reason that I want Fiona Staples on the show sometime is so I can ask the question, like, are you the one that asked for the break? And was it because he just made you draw the three most painful issues of Saga and possibly any comics ever, and you just finished with them and said, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, I'm taking a break.
Someone is passionate about Saga, huh? How old is
Well,
Saga?
I mean,
I looked this up.
Saga started in I think 2012,
Mm.
Older.
but also like they gave the at the end of the first hardcover they did like a 20-page answer to a letter that they'd gotten about what their process is, where they broke down like how a whole issue comes about. And something that I found interesting is that Brian has known the overall arc and all the big parts since day one, and Fiona prefers to go issue by issue. And if that was still true in the 50s, that means she got issue 52 and went, "You're doing what?" And then she got issue 53 and you went, "What?" And then she got issue 54 and it's like, and I'm just, I know how emotional I am about those characters. I can't imagine how you could draw them and not have a certain amount of emotion. So to have that level of emotion and have to draw those things. I mean, famously, Lion Cat is still alive because she refused to kill him. The time that he went out into space, he was supposed to die, and she's like, "Nope, nope."
Takes it.
You save him in the next issue, or we're done.
Yeah, I still don't think it's a good book. It's okay. It's like a Star Wars, Romeo
Sounds
and
like
Juliet.
someone that's judging
It's like Star Wars and Romeo and Juliet, only two of the most iconic stories in all of history. Let's
You know what's
bash
fun?
it by saying that it brings
You know
those
what's fun?
things
I
together.
didn't watch Star
Yes,
Wars
it's like Star Wars and I've sold hundreds of copies of it by saying it's like Star Wars meets Romeo and Juliet.
I watched Star Wars until I was like in my 40s. Like it didn't. I
Well,
was
that's
I
your
was a Star
problem,
Trek
dude.
fan.
I'm a Star Trek
Like
fan
it was.
now.
I was.
So yeah.
I happen to like Brian K. Vaughan is okay. Like Why the Last Man is okay. He's not a prolific writer. I mean, let's just be honest here. He's good, but he's not. He's not like oh my God, that's a. He's just not for me. Like for me, and I
Well,
think
I mean, he
I
went
really don't
off
think it.
and wrote a season of Lost. That took him away
Yeah,
from comics for a while.
and
And he's
Lost.
done enough other TV that he's allowed to not write as much because
I
he
think
has
it was.
other income.
I think it's okay. I just don't think it is what like. I just don't think it's compared to some other
But
stuff.
back to do a power bomb.
Yeah, it was.
It's okay, but yeah, let's talk Dan. I
Oh
think
my God.
Daniel impacts us more emotionally.
So, yeah, I would say that it impacted me more, but I think it did something different for me. Like, for me, as someone that grew up a huge wrestling fan, especially with the WWE and the Attitude Era, I was smiling almost throughout this book. And one thing that I don't think Daniel has gotten a lot of credit for, at least for me and what I've read so far, is that he set this up like a wrestling match. I was anticipating almost every other page of like, are they going to kick out? What's going to happen next? And you get that sort of bam. By the way, his descriptors are like the smash and like montage, another montage. I thought was fucking hilarious. Um,
But
but
I do want to point out, like from an autistic perspective, I was watching for the power bomb, and maybe I don't know what a power bomb is, but nobody ever said they were doing a power bomb. So the fact that I never saw a power bomb made me very frustrated because the book is do a power bomb,
yep,
and
uh,
I didn't see any power bombs.
there wasn't a power bomb in there. I was kind of looking for one too, but I didn't see it. Saw a lot of senton bombs and moonsaults, which was
I,
cool.
I thought the journey was the power bomb. That was the metaphor.
I mean, probably, but
I
it
thought
said It called it do a power bomb, not take a power bomb journey.
That just doesn't roll off your tongue as easy. It's just not as.
You know, it angered you like why do blackbirds sing kind of angered me. Like, this isn't true. I thought it
It
was
didn't
true.
anger me. It was something that I was, and it's totally my autism brain that I was preoccupied with. That like every time they started to do a big move, I'm like, oh, is this going to be the power bomb? Are they going to practice the power bomb? And
Not at
finally,
all.
it was like, where's the power bomb?
God gonna do it? No
Did
idea.
I miss the? I don't even know what a power bomb is. I'm not a wrestling guy, so I was waiting for that big splash page. It's like do a power bomb, and I was gonna get to discover what a power bomb is, and I never got to discover what a power bomb is.
Nope.
We should write a letter to Daniel Warren Johnson saying, "Hey,
The next time
So
he's
what?
Chicago, he's
Try
Chicago.
better.
Get him
I'll
on the
bump
podcast.
into him.
just
I'll
him on
bump
the
into him.
I picture it like a suplex kind of, combination,
I think so. The way that I understood it is like the Cobra and Steel Rose, like their finishing move was the power bomb,
Yeah.
and they never got to do the power bomb because he didn't murder her, but he accidentally killed her. So like the do a power bomb was like, well, do like
It's the
finish the.
the finishing move was to
Yeah.
win the journey. That's what I said. That's what for me that was the metaphor. Like it wasn't an actual like wrestling move.
But I don't think they could, like looking at it now, like having this discussion, like I don't think they could have put it in the power bomb because that would have finished the journey would be finished.
Yep.
The journey would be over. When you do the power bomb, the story's done.
And here you guys go, making my frustrations seem trivial and being right.
We're minimizing it,
First, you don't let me be frustrated at God.
So
And
you
now
want
you tell me how it's good storytelling to not show the power bomb. And God damn it, you're right, but it's not nice.
you
And
are right. You wanted to see the visual of it.
and for those of you listening, I'm just shaking my head. No, like that's not the power bomb. What they did was the sword sunrise. So that's what they did.
That's true. That's true. Their closing move was the sword sunrise.
And for me, the power bomb is that's not. Yeah, it's a very unique move. I would definitely say look up like Undertaker or Kane power bomb. That'll show you what a power bomb is.
But do the sword sunrise doesn't sound as fun.
Well, but you also got to remember he wasn't copying American wrestling. He was doing Japanese wrestling. So
Mig was kind enough to give us an animated power bomb in the that I'm gonna have to download because we might have to see if we can get that into
that's
our
a power
notes
bomb.
somewhere.
That's it. You nailed it. And I didn't think I was going to see a power bomb and stick figure. That's pretty great.
That is pretty cool. I dig that.
But I will definitely say too, like this is one where I definitely like with some of the reveals again with like Cobra Sun being the dad, fucking didn't see that coming. And like Wrestling God, like I already knew you're not winning that. Like if you win that, there's many things wrong. But the sort of closeout of that story of the memory and why for me it was very powerful. And this is where my clinical brain sort of turned on, is that it was that little slice of acceptance. It was the slight like sense of acceptance that the memory that her and her mother shared about this question of dying. Like again, I'm not there yet. Sam, you're probably close to that, but like as a child, like how do you explain this concept of dying to a child? There's someone that maybe doesn't.
a leaf falling off a tree.
Well, what?
A leaf falling off a tree. When the leaves fall off a tree is how you explain death to children. Is the idea of regrowth. Like, things die to come back. That's usually the popular metaphor for death in children is the tree when the leaves fall in the fall. You never heard that?
And then looking at that and for her and her journey it was seeing that last page, that last panel, which I will save that, but no other book has done this, which speaks a lot to me, but I fucking cheered. Like, I was like, that's fucking awesome. Like, this is great. The fact that it not only showed the steps towards acceptance, but in its own unique way of having her mother be that sort of onlooker, that sort of oh my goodness, guardian angel, if you will, and seeing her growth. I think that was for me what stood to be very powerful in that sort of thing. So like for me,
Yeah,
like even
having her out in the crowd was kind of
yeah,
Yeah.
really
it was very
that's good.
very powerful, man. Like for me, it did hit a lot of joy for me. I get the anger, I get the grief, like for sure. But it was also
Oh, there
like,
was definitely joy. There
oh
was
yeah.
definitely joy. I just, I mean, it's like that mixed thing. It's like intellectually, sometimes you work really hard and the rewards you get aren't the rewards that you wanted, and in some ways they're even better. And on the other hand, it's like, God damn it, she worked so hard. Give her what she wants.
Give her the thing.
You can't get what you want all the time.
Not kind of the thing, the thing. Yeah, but he's God. He's God. He should be able to do. But
Which
I
by the
guess he
way,
was
and this is
God
my
portrayed as an asshole white man. I'd be more. We need the brown woman God, and then they'll understand that she should have at least gotten a hug from mom,
well, those two things I learned
even if
about God
mom
in
couldn't
this
go
book.
back.
It was that God is a wrestling fan, and that too, God couldn't see a clothesline coming. So take that for what you will. I thought that was funny.
Yeah, it had a
I've been.
Chasing Amy kind of vibe to it, didn't it? You never seen the movie Chasing Amy?
Mm-mm.
Kevin Smith.
I've
Oh,
seen Chasing Amy, but I'm trying to figure out where you're going with this.
not Chasing Amy. Excuse me. Oh my God, not Chasing Amy. The one where who's the singer?
Dogma?
Dogma. Yes, thank you.
Yes.
Dogma. Okay. That makes way more
I'm like,
sense.
Kate,
I was running. I'm like, what was the
I'm
name of
like,
it? Was it Chasing Amy? No, but he was
Hey,
in
it's
it.
not
yeah,
Bob.
Yeah,
too.
they're all starting to blur. Okay, look, I'm
with the
50 years
Buddy
old. They're all
Christ.
blurring.
Buddy Christ.
Yeah, they're all blurring for me here. Yeah, I
Buddy
kind of get
Christ.
that kind of vibe to it.
Alanis Morissette is God.
Yeah. Yep, it was kind of that vibe for it for me, and I'm like, oh, this is pretty cool. I will say though, I it's funny because I'm like, man, why? It's the dad. It's the dad. Like I had the vibe that it was the dad
Really?
or the uncle. I'm like, it's the dad or the
I thought it
uncle.
was the uncle.
Yeah,
I thought it was the
like
uncle.
I'm like, I think it's the dad or the uncle. And then it was just like, I fucking knew it. That's why he's all retreat. And but see, it goes back to the identification. I'm like, the way he's separate. I'm like, oh, he's fucking guilty. And again, not that bash saga. It's that sense of like what it makes you feel, and I'm like it evoked that guilt in me. I'm like, oh shit. I'm like, it was fucking dad. It was fucking dad, and I'm like, fuck, that's my guilt. And then I was like, no, 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 that's just my shit coming out. And I'm like, oh fuck, it was dad. God damn it. I'm like, I'm gonna fuck. Then I made me
Yeah,
put some.
I want to make it really, really clear for the record that all of your children still have living mothers.
That is
Yes,
true.
yes.
That is true. We are all
So that's what I'm told. I don't know.
I
Yeah.
never saw it coming. And I remember I was reading on the couch and my significant other was in the bedroom. And I saw the page and it's a whole page that they dedicated
Mhm.
to the dad showing up his face. And I go, no, no. And he goes like, what? What? What's wrong? He comes like, what's wrong? I was like, it's the dad. And he's like, what? What are you talking about? He doesn't read comic books. And it was like 9:30. It's like,
Yet.
I need to talk
Yet.
to yet. It's like, I need to talk to someone. It's like, is it too late to text Dr. Brown? I was like, I don't care. I'm gonna text him. It was the fucking dad. And yeah.
That was your power bomb moment.
Well, I did see the memory as the power bomb.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
That was
That's
my
fair.
yeah.
That's fair.
but it was very impactful. I didn't see it coming, and I didn't feel identified with any character. I think I felt identified with the message of the story, which was, although we know the ending, meaning death or who is gonna win at a match, it's about the journey. It's about how we get there. Because that's in part the way I see life. So that's what that's what touched me, but also I didn't know that that was gonna be the thing because I knew on the back of my mind that mom was not gonna come back. So I was like, where is it going? Where is it going? And why isn't
I
she
mean,
afraid to do the thing that got her mom killed was also so puzzling to me. So
You can't beat
well,
that.
early on, it was probably a mixture of idolizing her mom and not caring if she lived.
Mhm.
mm,
I mean, I felt that like almost death wish in her as she was doing her matches and knowing that nobody would teach her, but I'm going to do it anyway. You
Well,
know, that big.
isn't that like the whole thing where it's like she idolized her mom so much and like her idol died in this particular way? Like, wouldn't it be
Mhm.
idolizing to also die in that way?
Well, if you think
mm,
about, he took well, the thing I like about all these guys is like, and I have to add Tom King and all them as well. They really take deep psychological themes. I don't know what they do for research, which is would be the question I would love to ask is, do you read this stuff separately or does someone consult with you on how you do it? Because when you look at the whole book, it
They
takes
go to
a lot.
therapy. They write their own
Yeah,
stuff.
but that's still therapy. That's not the themes, like the theoretical
Yeah.
part. Like they took from Kubler-Ross, the 8 stages of grief, like the denial, grief, and one of the stages of grief is identification. Is you become
Mhm.
that what you've lost. Like you start to like the things they like. You start to act like you start to use some of their language. Like she was incorporating her mom. Like she was becoming her mom.
Mhm.
And that's one of the stages of grief. So it's like it's really well done. Like I can't give you every example off the top of my head, but they went through a lot of those stages of grief that
Mhm.
people travel through. I thought that was fucking excellently done. So I'd love to ask them like, hey, so how did you learn that? Like did you is that just you espousing what you felt and it just so happens to coincide, or did you read that? Like I'm curious.
mm,
I mean, this is where I will remind you that the reason that it was written is because people studied lots of people who went through the grief process and this is what they saw. So there is a really good chance that they could have just gone through it and
mm,
not known it as formally.
Mhm.
And that because you guys are looking from a clinical perspective, you're like, oh, this is so and so, and they're like, no, that's just what I felt when my dad died.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
I don't know why I just laughed at this is what I thought when my dad died, but you know what I mean.
you're in a funny mood today, Dad.
Yeah. But it also
I'm definitely yeah,
And what killed
tired.
your vibe? The
No, I was actually going to comment that one of the things that I love about doing these
whoops.
these the, these
Sorry.
episodes with you
oh,
guys is
technical
that
difficulty. Sorry.
so often I feel like I have to be the serious guy and now I can be the typical comic fan whining about not getting what I want rather than like, well, no, that's actually the better storytelling because I've got the four of you to tell me that it's better storytelling.
I mean, Ted, you started off by saying, fucking God,
You want to bitch slap?
Yeah, bitch slap God. Bitch
Right.
slap God.
I,
Yeah.
I think that's really fair because I think that's what a lot of people feel like when they're going through the grief process, where it's just like,
Oh yeah, what did you call
well,
that? Bargaining, anger at God,
yeah, like why can't it happen? Like you're supposed to be
Yeah.
this almighty, like, person or this almighty like thing that you can do whatever, like, and why can't you make this happen? And like there is an anger towards it. Like, are you kidding me? Like, I think
I
that's
mean, I saw a great four-panel comic. I've been rereading all of Jason, the Norwegian comic or the Norwegian cartoonist. um, for something I'm working on. And there's a great 4-page comic where somebody's playing Trivial Pursuit with God, and it's like, what's the capital of Albania? And he goes, Stockholm. And they're like, Stockholm's not the capital of Albania. And he snaps his fingers and goes, now it
Yes,
is.
it So that's what you wanted him to do, was snap
So,
his
you
fingers.
know, I mean, theoretically,
Yes.
No, it was well done that way. And then what
it was
I
incredibly well done. I don't
hard match.
disagree. I just want to disagree.
Because this was your first time reading it too, right, Dad?
It was my first time reading To a Powerbomb. Yeah, I read it when I got home from your con yesterday. So
How
it's fresh in my head.
That
I
that actually,
loved it. I mean, I immediately wanted to cry, and I'm like, the first word in the book club is joy, Sam. And then I'm like, oh, she does. She does. So this is going to get better.
you're like, she would not have recommended this if it just was this sad.
Right, right, right. We've gotta, and I also knew that like there was no way it was going to get recommended if it was completely, oh, magical realism. You get everything you want because you deserve it. So I wasn't ever really expecting to get mom back. Actually, I think the biggest bait and switch to me was when Uncle got injured. I thought they were going to have to make the choice. Who are we
oh,
bringing back? Are we bringing back the one that wouldn't be dead, except that he was also here to try to save mom? Or are we bringing back mom? Um, I thought that when they lost the initial round and it wound up, I was both not shocked and really kind of heartbroken that tag team that had come together just to try to win all of this stuff then turned on each other rather than a coin flip or whatnot. And I guess the message being sent was they were willing to do it if they could bring one of the kids back, but whoever didn't get to bring their kid back would prefer to not live than continue. Which I mean, those are real feelings too, but I'm glad we didn't dwell there for too long. Um, yeah, there were a lot of head fakes, a lot of twists at the end that
Mhm.
that made me that much more certain that we weren't going to see mom, but that the final twist was still going to be a heartwarming, hopeful one rather than uh life sucks.
Well, and also we did see mom. They show it as, or they portray it as
Yeah, we
mom
did.
was always
We did.
there, cheering for her.
Yeah, mom was in the crowd. Right.
Yeah.
Right.
I know that
I, s-
you wanted to
I,
physically see her though.
I still would have liked it if she'd at least had a moment with her mom. Mom doesn't have to come back to Earth, but you'd think that like mom could be in the crowd and come up and hand her the belt. How about that? Hand her the belt. I'll see you again, not too soon.
yeah, that would have that I could have seen that. That would have been nice, like here. But then she
Or
gets
worse yet, I'll see you again soon.
but isn't that
I mean,
experience
what,
lost
what's the
twice
old
then?
joke?
Mhm.
What's the old joke? The two old men are like, whoever dies first has to find some way to come back and tell us if there's golf in heaven. And one of them dies and comes back and he's like, there is golf. That's great. Downside is you're in a foursome tomorrow morning.
Oh. That's pretty funny.
I don't know that one.
That's pretty funny.
I've heard it as a baseball one too. Is there baseball in heaven? Guy
I've
comes
heard that
back
too.
and says, there is baseball in heaven, but the downside is you're pitching tomorrow.
You're right.
I don't get it.
Because it was whoever dies was gonna let the other one know, and then it's like, oh yeah, you're pitching tomorrow, so you're dying tomorrow.
Oh, that's mean.
No, it's not mean.
Call it a courtesy. I don't know.
God, that would
They were
suck.
they're just fulfilling a promise.
Yeah, it's just you did what you said you were gonna do.
Yeah, but Daniel Warren Johnson. Let's have a talk with him. You know, he's really pulling on the emotional.
I've reached out a couple of times. He's a busy guy. You know, I don't know if you read the prelude. He's got a small child.
Yeah.
When you draw comics for a living, which is time consuming, particularly if you want to like make money.
Mhm.
Um, it's that thing that you trade for housing and food.
And statues.
And statues and comics. Yeah,
Um,
it was a fabulous book.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna say, is it safe to assume everybody
I
loved
mean,
it?
yeah, I did. I did. I mean, for that matter, Edgar, Daniel Warren Johnson's another one of my baseball peeps too. So like, I really want to have him on the show. He's
Wait,
just
wait, wait.
been
Is he a
busy.
Sox or Cubs fan?
I think he's actually a Sox fan, but I don't remember.
That's great. That's wonderful. I knew he was good. I knew he was a good guy.
I could be wrong. He's also a Star Wars fan. He does Star Wars mini comics.
Well, I like Star Wars now. Like I said, I didn't like it for 30 life. I didn't. It's not that I didn't like it. It didn't interest me.
So who would have to get into the Cubs for you to decide that they were okay?
See, I mean, I really don't know what the Cubs are. I heard that they were a baseball team slash kind of beer garden kind of thing, so I'm really not too familiar with it.
I mean, they haven't had any on-field riots like at Comiskey, if that's what you're talking about.
I mean, are we really describing passion or
Well, I was talking about disco demolition.
the sad thing is I
But
remember when it happened.
but I could also bring up when they decided to, when the drunk father son decided to jump on the field and go send the Kansas City Royals first base coach to the hospital
Yeah,
because
so
apparently
fucked
the
up.
first base coach was like completely when I'm frustrated at that horrible, I mean, and mind you, this was in an era where the Sox were actually good and the Royals sucked. But I have a first place team and I'm playing against the worst team. I totally get totally pissed off at their first base coach. That makes so much sense.
That was my friend's uncle.
Was it?
Yep. I'm like, holy cow. Yeah, that was my friend's uncle. Yeah. I'm telling you, I'm diehard
Did
Sox
he?
fan.
Well, no, you couldn't answer that question even if I asked it. I was going to say, did he get sent to you for after?
I was a wee but child when this happened.
Right. It
Just a
was
little,
like
I
what,
was a little
almost
baby.
30 years ago now.
Let's see, I'm a little over 30
Uh,
years. Yeah.
yeah, it was in the mid to late 90s.
The rest of the crew that's online right now is just like, yeah, what? What are you guys talking about? They have
What
no
are you
idea
guys talking about?
Well,
Yeah.
I'm a Braves fan, so y'all can have this.
I will call them the Atlanta Baseball Club. Thank you very much.
Uh,
I like nachos and hot dogs.
Did
Same.
you know?
I like when my
Did you
ice cream
know?
comes in a hat.
Did you know that nachos, as you know them, were created by a minor league baseball team in Texas?
Really?
Genius. Absolutely genius.
I had heard on yeah, they were by and they were it was in Arizona, something like that. Interesting.
I don't know, but I like them. So
I like barbecue nachos.
so good.
but yeah,
Yeah.
when it comes to
That's what I like about baseball.
yeah, do a power bomb. I would say like two,
That sounds like a Braves fan right there. Let's not talk about them. Let's
yeah, and you can enjoy your nachos at a wrestling match. But I would definitely say like brilliant work by Daniel Warren Johnson. And like for me, as a wrestling fan, I grew up watching wrestling ever since I was like a child until I was like late teenagers. Like he got a lot of it, and it was a beautiful story, well done. Um,
Did you
so
identify with a character?
so thinking back on it, I don't know if I did. Um, I think I really like ported back to myself as a kid and being that spectator. I saw myself as being a kid in a locker room, listening to the sort of backstage talk. Um, I would say if anybody that really pulled on me that I agreed with, uh, Lana,
Yeah.
I read it as Lona, uh, but Lona, I definitely identify with her, and yeah, especially with the first 3 pages, I'm like, what the fuck? Well, this needs to stop. Like, this is like my mom, and then ultimately trying to fulfill some sort of missing puzzle piece in our life. And I think that's where we go back into the identification piece of, yeah, I lost my mom to wrestling. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to be the best wrestler that I can be to sort of fulfill that role. So for me, it was definitely uh, Lona in this book that really even remotely like pulled on my heartstrings the most.
Big fan of Lona.
Mhm.
Big fan of Lona.
I know that some of you have said that maybe she was trying to become her mom or having a death wish, but I almost see it as she was trying to find happiness or meaning in her life, and that's the only way that she knew how.
I mean, I think it's all of the above,
Hmm.
at least for me. I don't think she realized that she had any sort of death wish. I don't think it was like a specific death wish. I think it was she didn't care enough to think about that,
Mm,
particularly because there were so many people telling her not to. It was like, no, this made my mom happy. This made childhood me happy,
right.
you know. Because her mom wasn't there to say otherwise, she could use it as a no, this is what mom would have wanted. I'm gonna fulfill her legacy. Um,
Yeah, I
yeah,
definitely saw it
she's
as like,
definitely seeking fulfillment, but she doesn't have a lot of survival instincts going on either, if that
no.
makes sense.
Oh yeah, and even I think her dad as Cobra-san highlighted
Has
that
even less.
super green.
No, he's still going into the ring to get the shit beaten out of him.
Oh yeah,
Well, because it's a self-induced punishment. Like,
Right.
Penance. He's
yeah.
paying penance. That's why I identify with him. Like he's been paying penance his whole life. His guilt is eating at him. And I do
Sam,
think
you don't hit Edgar with cathode
Folding
tube
chairs?
light bulbs, do you?
he smacked me with a folding chair once.
Okay.
Like folding chairs? Yes, yes, I do. Um, no, I don't. Not yet, at least.
Don't
You
lie.
don't have a baseball bat wrapped in
barbed
in
wire.
barbed wire hiding anywhere in the house.
'Cause you would be surprised how quick
I
he
mean,
is.
that was popularized in another comic book.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
Lucille.
No, you'd be surprised how quick and nimble he is.
You know, don't let my
I mean, I
don't
think
let my
everybody gets quick and nimble when people start swinging barbed wire wrapped baseball bats. Yeah, Mick, this is how we fall apart.
yeah. He's like, I thought this was about look, this is the
If
beauty
they're
of
more professional at work, then I bring out the worst in them. If they're not, well, then you already know.
no, but it's that's the beauty of a good book. It brings out so much thought on multiple levels on different things. And I mean, I know even for the people that may be listening, the 6 people that you say that you claim are listening, which I think is a lot more than that. I think you're very humble. But it does. It generates so
You
much.
know, I mean, there's some evidence now that we've switched that were streamed by a few more.
Oh,
I'm not willing to claim more than 6 yet, but you're right. I think
but you
we
claim
might have.
six.
Yeah. Well, I can name 6. Hi, Mom. Hi, Adam. Hi, John. Hi, Britt.
I need family like that. My family doesn't listen to my podcast.
No, we're there with you.
Oh, it's
Nice.
fine.
Good call.
Thank you.
They abandoned me during the minicon.
Who?
What?
What
I
the?
We're
just
just
want
going to ignore that.
All of them.
Turn off your cameras while I
We're
pull
going
out.
to invalidate the hell out of that.
I'm about to do a power bomb right now.
You don't even know what a power bomb is.
Thanks,
There it
Meg.
is.
We got the
Yes, she
program.
does because it's in the chat.
Yeah, Meg sent us the video.
So you're power bomb ready?
I'm power bomb ready.
All right.
Your journey's ending here.
Yeah, we fell apart.
What are we looking at considering for the next read?
I don't know. That's what I was about to ask you guys. I mean, I can toss out ideas, but I always like to hear what, if anything, people are thinking about.
I think Meg is the newcomer. I would defer to what would you would like to read, or what would you suggest that we read? Excuse me. Anything but Saga.
The nice house?
The nice.
Nice house by the lake.
Yes.
I mean, I suppose we can call that Joy Hope.
Oh, okay.
This
We
is the
have a
Joy,
title. That's
Resistance,
true.
Hope, and Survival book club.
I mean,
This is the world out there sucks. We're trying
have a
to get
title.
together and like support each other in a
Okay.
positive way.
So I guess not something's killing the children, not the closet, not nail biter. Okay.
Yeah, no, I love those books, and if you want to talk about those books on my podcast, we can come up with an excuse to. I'm gonna say that they don't fit the theme of this particular
Okay.
book club.
Maybe I need to listen to some other people.
Remember, we discussed earlier that Meg hasn't been introduced yet to the type of comics that we normally talk about.
The joy, the resistance, the hope.
What is that?
What is joy? What is hope?
Comic books? What is that?
What's a good
Just
one
kidding.
for her to start with? I'm trying to think. What would be a good one? I don't recommend. Well, let me see. Let's think. Let's think on air here. What would be a good like joy, happy, a good start for her? That I found. How about Huck? I liked Huck.
We could do Huck. Huck has a second volume in the stores right now.
I mean, it only took
first
10 years
volume of
for it,
Huck.
but yes.
Yeah.
I think Huck was good. I think that was really good. Like joy, like.
Okay.
Huck is. I will accept Huck as a if
I
I go back and forth on what I think of Mark Millar, and I have complicated feelings about Huck that
that's
I need to reread it again. Yeah.
Well, if we can stick with Daniel Warren Johnson and go Murder Falcon.
No, I don't feel like rereading Murder Falcon right now. I'd rather reread Huck.
If he's not making you read Saga, then you can.
Murder Falcon could I mean Murder Falcon qualifies enough that I'm adding it to the spreadsheet of ideas.
What about Beta Ray Bill?
Beta Ray Bill would. I haven't actually read that one, but I assume it would fit.
That was a great one. Yeah, I mean that's a good one.
That is good.
Yeah, that would probably fall a little bit more like resistance, maybe. Maybe.
I mean, I will never turn down an opportunity to read It's Jeff.
I mean,
do you know which one It's Jeff is?
Yeah, I'm not a fan of.
Oh.
You're not a fan of It's Jeff?
Oh.
Sam, can you hit him for me? Just it doesn't have to be hard, but it can be hard.
Camera turned off. That's weird.
How about Descender? Descender was good.
Or I Kill Giants.
I
Oh,
mean,
A good one.
I Kill Giants would work really well.
yeah, that's a good.
Um, Royal City.
Royal City's good too.
So a very good one. I see
Okay.
we're going Lemire now. Okay.
I just read Royal City.
Yeah.
Oh, Royal City was really good.
Yeah, Royal City was really, yeah.
I haven't read it.
I have a copy of it. I have
Okay.
two copies of it actually. Uh,
Of course you do.
I was going through my library today, like, why do I have doubles of all these?
I mean, actually, you know what would be, and this would be worth spending a couple of months on because, it would
There.
be worth doing the whole thing and it's long enough. Sex Criminals.
Ooh, I like that. Sex criminals.
I know you liked
The,
it.
the,
I
the,
like sex criminals. I don't think she liked it. I thought it was
you
good.
didn't like Sex Criminals? I'm going to
I
look at you the same way I looked at him for
Thank you.
Jeff.
Thank you,
I
Jen.
it made me
Rude?
blush. Yes.
Well, I can understand how going into shop and asking for it is difficult. Yes, I'd like a copy of Sex Criminals.
Put it in a
One
little
sex
brown
criminal, please.
Put it in a little brown bag. You'll be fine.
No, I read the first I didn't read it well enough. Like I read the first couple pages as I was sitting at the kitchen table and it made me blush.
Oh.
And I was like, oh my God. I'm like, no.
No, Sam, I mean, I'm gonna say this even harder than him and Saga. You need to read Sex Criminals.
Okay.
I,
Okay.
I will, it will absolutely make you blush, and it's allowed to, but like, um, I don't know if there's been a better book in the last couple of decades about like relationships and self-esteem and confidence and like it starts off with the silly premise and from there goes to like humaning is hard. Let's do it together. And like the letters pages are so good that they wound up being released separately. There are
Oh.
two books called Just the Tips because Matt Fraction, Chip Zdarsky, they have to go there. Two books called Just the Tips that are just the best of the letter pages.
Hmm.
Okay. I I
Um,
read it at the kitchen table. The kids were running around. I immediately I opened it and I
yeah,
immediately
no,
closed.
it would be that much harder with the kids running around that I get.
But I would definitely I've heard nothing but good things about it. Like it's
Since we brought up Matt Fraction, his wife Kelly Sue brought up Bitch Planet. Bitch Planet would be a worthwhile thing
she also
um
did
for
she's doing
this.
Birds of Prey, isn't she? No, who's doing what did
No, that's Kelly
yeah,
Thompson. Kelly Thompson's doing Birds of
Kelly
Prey.
Sue also did
Yeah. Kelly Sue is currently doing
yes,
FML,
yes.
which also would totally fit on this, but like we should get to at least a trade paperback before we jump into
Yeah.
that. Um,
She did Wonder Woman Historia. I'm like,
yep, yep,
what? Like, hold on a minute. Yeah, I have Gene Haas. He did a remark in the
yep.
book. It was pretty great.
Kelly Sue's amazing.
Yeah, yeah.
So I don't know. I feel like Huck or I Kill Giants is what we've had the most traction on so far. Does anybody?
I'll let you
And
guys roll.
again, and let me
Ripple.
I've never read Huck. So that would be at least two people that haven't read that one before, so that might be a good discussion.
I haven't read that one either. I know that I don't have
Okay.
much experience, but I have read I Kill Giants.
I
Very
have
good.
not read Huck.
That's so good.
Yeah.
Well, why don't we do Huck?
Yeah, let's do Huck.
Because I was meaning to do a Huck again sometime soon anyway, just because
Well, what the huck?
the second volume is coming out. But I just realized that I hadn't shared the spreadsheet of ideas with you guys yet, so I'm doing that right now. And then people can add in anytime you think about a book. If you go, hey, this would fit the theme, just throw it on the spreadsheet. Um,
Hmm.
yeah, Huck for next week. Forrest Gump meets superheroes.
Next week or next month?
Next month. Month. Next month.
Let's say
Before then,
we'll
before then, we
go
will
ahead and
come
reschedule
back
that
to
one for
start.
next week.
Yeah, before that, we'll come back together and start our Batman run.
Yep.
Um, with our visionaries and inquiries, which I that came up in my conversation with Sarah Gailey earlier today. That book club came up. She's fascinated at the fact that we're going through Tom King that way. So, we go.
Maybe we can go through a Tiny run as well.
I mean, yeah, I'm all for reading Tynion. I need to read more of him. I haven't done some of his most famous stuff. I don't know that that's for
This podcast.
this podcast. So that would either be a third, or that would be if we ever catch up to Tom King, which at the pace he's going seems
Not likely.
unlikely. Yeah.
And I just got all his run on Batman, and then Snyder's run and Tynion's run.
Yeah.
Right.
Individual
Right.
at mini
Well,
con.
as I always say, you guys can pitch me anything anytime for like the one shot or whatever. I just don't like to try to tie you down for more than twice a month to be on my show.
Let's
I will accept more than twice a month. I will not be the one to say, hey, you guys want to do this too? And this too. Now we're going to talk every night this week.
I think Huck will be good. And then wait, when is the next podcast? Tom King.
Not next week, the week after.
The week.
Next Tom King podcast is 2 weeks from now. And then the next of these is the first Sunday in August. So our schedule is the 20th and then the 3rd.
Because this weekend we're out in Michigan, right? Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay.
Where are you going in Michigan?
We're presenting at Capital City Con.
Yep.
Cool, cool. Well, have fun. Have fun, have fun.
Want to buy
I don't
comics?
even. Why can't I remember the capital of Michigan?
It's Lansing.
It's
No.
Lansing. Okay. No.
Lansing.
Is it Lansing? Yeah, it's Lansing. So hit Vault of Midnight while you're there.
I think that's where we're going, is by Lansing.
I think so. I actually think it is.
If I remember correctly.
Well, I mean, if it's Capital City Con and Lansing is the capital of Michigan, I would hope.
Ted, it's 8:30 at night. It's a Sunday night. All my brain power went to this moment. I'm tired.
It's in Lansing. Can confirm it is in Lansing.
You were already telling me that I was like off the rails an hour ago, so I get it.
And I'm old, I'm tired from
Yeah.
I'm tired.
Because you're silly and decided that rather than having small grandchildren, you were going to have more small children. And of course you're exhausted.
I didn't decide. I was taken advantage of.
I think it was the other way.
Yeah, I'm gonna.
I don't think so.
I'm gonna do my folding chair and my bat now. Like,
I'll get Lucille here too. I was taken advantage of. I like to say I was anchored.
anyways,
With
Do a
two
Powerbomb was a
anchor
phenomenal
babies.
read. Definitely
Phenomenal.
recommend. 10 out of 10.
I give it a 10.
For those
Yeah.
reading along at home, next month will be Mark Millar's Huck. I feel like I should quickly figure out the artist, because we like artists too.
Right.
Huck, I don't remember
There
who
we
it
go.
was.
Raphael Albuquerque.
Albuquerque. Yeah, Raphael Albuquerque. Good stuff.
Be doing the second series as well?
I think so. I think they're back together for the
I
second
think he
series.
liked it on
So yeah.
He really liked
he
it.
really enjoyed Hook.
Who really enjoyed Hook?
Son.
Oh, well, bring him on. He's welcome. Oh,
Who
that's
else?
another one we need to throw on the list. Kaya.
Oh,
Kaya,
Kaya.
Kaya needs to be. Yeah,
Love
Kaya
Kaya.
needs to be on the list.
Kyle was cute.
And Jana and the Impossible Monsters.
Oh, I don't know that one.
Oh, that's so good.
Who wrote that?
Chris Samney.
Yeah, send that list over, please. So I'm gonna
I already did. I shared it with all of you.
take a look.
Samney and Bone. Bone needs to be on the list.
Oh, Bone does need to be on the list.
Bone. God, I haven't read Bone since I was young.
That would be an excuse. That would be this club would be a perfect excuse to reread Bone.
Oh my God, yeah, that was a. Did you get the list?
Yeah, I got
How do
it.
you get
I
it?
opened it in my email.
In your email?
Yeah,
What email did he send it to?
personal email.
I don't see it either.
Yeah.
Did it not come through?
Yeah, no, I got it. Dr.
Let,
Edgar
let,
at gmail.com. You're there.
let me take us out and we'll
Yeah.
figure out this technical stuff off the air. For Psychocomicology, this has been the Joy, Resistance, Hope, and Survival Book Club and Support Group on 22 panels, and we will see you after the next page.